Right now this morning, new research shows breast pumps could be a game changer for working moms. Coming up, how this simple tool is helping mothers continue breastfeeding long after they return to work. And it is the start of a new school year for Gale Ettrick Trumpelow High School students today. Coming up, we're live with details on a new cell phone policy change.
Well, plus we have kids going to school today, so that means fog and low cloud activities out there. We'll eventually see how it all plays out for the day with sunshine on the way, possibly with milder conditions. I'll have your quick cast coming up in just a bit.
Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for News 8 Now this morning. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Mark Jarrett.
It is Wednesday, August 28th. A lot of news to get to, but first we'll take a look at some weather. Yesterday afternoon was quite steamy. I was a little bit surprised, but relief is on the way.
A whole new day today. A whole lot of sunshine coming your way eventually. In fact, we're going to be looking at this as we go into it. We have that forecast for you, as I mentioned before, that back to school forecast. Get out of school, as you can see, by later on today, or starting today, we're 67 degrees to boot. And this is for GET, by the way, and it's calm conditions for you. It's similar forecast. Once you get out of school, you're looking at 79 degrees. Partly cloudy skies possible for your forecast here, and it's looking pretty nice across the board for everybody. Even folks going to work as they start out. They have a little patchy fog right now. We're seeing it for the south all the way to the west. And of course, it's also going to play out nicely as we finish out the morning hours. You're going to be seeing some of that start to develop. You can see it by the other side of the Mississippi there, the west side of the Mississippi. But we'll hold on to that going into some fog coming back again from Winona, extending out to portions of La Crosse. So we can see it in our river valleys. Not much in the way of any heat indices moving into our forecast, or I should say the heat advisories, or even that. It's all the way down in areas by St. Louis to Cincinnati and moving on out into the Midwest there. But we have, my friends, some much cooler conditions today. We have not much in the way of rainfall right now, but you may get a sprinkle up to Eau Claire, possibly by Ladysmith, and over there by Wausau. And you're seeing as we go through the morning hours, we're going to be opening up the skies. We'll get into at least partly cloudy skies to finish your day, maybe even some mostly sunny conditions. I'll have more about that coming up for you in just a wee bit.
All right, Art, we will see you then. Thank you. It is that time of year again. Students across our area heading back to the classroom. But for one district, a familiar policy is changing. News 8 Now's Michael Germain joins us live at Gale Ettrick Trumpelow High School to help welcome students back to school. Good morning, Michael. So what changes are in store for students there this year?
Alexandra, just 2 years ago at GET High School, students were allowed to use their cell phones during the school year and school day. But this year, things are looking a little bit different. And officials here say that the new policy aims to enhance further education. Students at GET High School were allowed to use their phones throughout the school day, a freedom that administrators say became too much of a distraction for everyone. So for the 2023 to 2024 school year, they tightened the reins a bit. While it was an improvement over the previous years, it wasn't enough. So this year, they're taking things one step further, eliminating cell phone use altogether and adding phone caddies in the classroom. Jamie Oliver, the principal at GET High School, says the new policy is less about taking something away from the students as it is about adding something back to the school day that's long been missing.
We're taking distractions away from the students, but we're eliminating distractions for the teachers.
The policy goes into effect this year, and if it's successful this year, they will continue carrying it on for future generations to come. Reporting live in Galesville, Michael Germain, News 8 Now.
All right, Michael, thank you. We'll see you in just a bit. Also beginning today, expect some delays on your morning commute if you travel near UWL or Western Tech. Beginning today, just over 3,000 students between both of those schools are heading back to their dorm rooms. So expect some traffic and road closures as they move in. According to a release, UWL expects Badger, La Crosse, Oakland, Pine, Vine, Campbell Road, and West Avenue to be the roads most impacted by these move-ins. Turning now to the war in Gaza, a hostage abducted by Hamas in the October 7th attack in Israel has been rescued. According to an Israeli military spokesperson, its forces rescued Qaid Farhan al-Qadi from a tunnel in southern Gaza. Officials say at the time of his rescue, he was alone with no Hamas captors. The Hostage Families Forum says the 52-year-old father of 11 had been kidnapped from his factory security job. He was in captivity for 326 days.
He appears to be in general good condition, but will require another day or two of medical tests to make sure he is still okay. We are ecstatic with his family. Watching him unite with his children, his brothers, was a heartwarming moment for all of us.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu called al-Qadi. You're seeing that right here. He said, quote, "The entire nation of Israel hugs you." Special counsel Jack Smith has filed a new federal indictment against former President Donald Trump in the 2020 election interference case. The updated charges aim to align with the Supreme Court's recent ruling on presidential immunity while maintaining the core allegations against Trump. His running mate, J.D. Vance, told reporters he thought this was an effort to influence the election and that it's going to energize their campaign.
We have some conflicts where private property and public property meet, and so it may affect homeowners' properties.
All right, looks like the September 10th presidential debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump is a go after Trump threatened to back out just yesterday. Meanwhile, Harris is set for her first sit-down interview since becoming the Democratic nominee. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest from New York.
After a few days away from the campaign trail following the Democratic National Convention, today, Vice President Kamala Harris is set to start a two-day bus tour to Battleground, Georgia, as she focuses on affordable housing in a recent ad.
My mother saved for well over a decade to buy a home. I was a teenager when that day finally came, and I can remember so well how excited she was.
Harris's plan calls for building 3 million housing units in 4 years, with new tax credits for builders targeting first-time homebuyers, and up to $25,000 in tax credits for those first-time buyers. In swing state Michigan,
Michigan is going red.
Former President Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, rallied on the economy and inflation.
You talk to a young person today, young people cannot afford to buy a home in their own country. We're turning a generation of 20 and 30-year-olds into permanent debtors.
Soon, both Harris and Trump will get to make their case to American voters. After casting doubt, the former president posted on social media they've reached an agreement on the September 10th face-off. Trump writing the rules will be the same as the last CNN debate with President Biden, where the candidates' microphones were muted when it wasn't their turn to speak.
And former President Trump set to rally tomorrow here in La Crosse. Jill Stein can stay on Wisconsin's ballot this November. That is the ruling from the Wisconsin Supreme Court, rejecting a Democratic National Committee challenge to remove the Green Party's presidential candidate. The court's liberal majority dismissed that request without a written opinion. A competency exam is scheduled for the La Crosse man accused of killing his roommate. 55-year-old John Stumlin facing first-degree homicide charges and hiding a corpse after authorities found his 68-year-old roommate's body behind their trailer home. A judge ordered the exam to determine if Stumlin is fit to stand trial. The man charged in a Juneau County homicide has pleaded not guilty. 47-year-old Donald Dahlberg faces multiple felony charges, including first-degree intentional homicide, for allegedly killing 57-year-old Floyd Burdick in January. Held on $1 million bond, Dahlberg has a conference today to schedule his jury trial. A Toba stabbing case is moving forward after a competency ruling. 49-year-old Jorge Santos Martinez has been found fit to stand trial for attempted first-degree homicide and aggravated battery. He's accused of stabbing a group home employee 3 times in May. The court entered not guilty pleas on his behalf, with his next court appearance set for December 3rd. As La Crosse's camping ban goes into effect, a nearby city is now also considering one. La Crescent's police department has proposed an ordinance to control camping on public property. The mayor says it aims to prevent unsheltered people from camping on city-owned land while offering them alternative resources.
We have some conflicts where private property and public property meet, and so it may affect homeowners' properties.
The proposal was sent to the La Crescent City Attorney for review and drafting of the ordinance. La Crescent's next City Council meeting is 5 p.m. September 9th at the La Crescent Community Building. And the clock is now ticking for La Crosse's unsheltered population. In less than an hour, The city will close Veterans Trail, enforcing its new camping ban. Those living along the trail must vacate with their belongings by 7 o'clock this morning as crews prepare to clear the area. This action stems from the City Council's recent vote to end camping on all city-owned property. The time now is 6:09. Still ahead on your morning news, AT&T is working to fix a current outage issue. The Mega Million jackpot for Friday night will grow to an estimated $627 million. And the number of so-called 401k millionaires hits a new record. The State Fair is a great way to find stuff for sale you may not have been looking for. Coming up, more on the State Fair vendors competing for your dollars at the Minnesota State Fair. For now, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. What is that? The San Antonio Zoo welcoming 71 Texas horned lizard hatchlings in a conservation effort with Zoo Miami. Take a look at this footage provided by the San Antonio Zoo. It shows these lizards happily snacking on insects and even burying themselves under the sand. That's what this guy's doing. The zoo says they launched an initiative back in 2017 to help address significant declines of the species from habitat loss. As you start to wake up this morning, leaving you with a quick wake-up call with the city in a forest, Atlanta, Georgia. Never heard it called that before. Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is after the break.
Look, here's a phone company who wants us to use our phones less.
That's ironic.
Yeah, but in a good way.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
It's a free ride.
But I already paid.
It never should have happened. The Waukesha Christmas Parade attack. 6 Wisconsinites mowed down by Darrell Brooks. Just days earlier, Brooks was arrested for trying to run over his girlfriend with the very same car. But Brooks was released on $1,000 bail. Senator Tammy Baldwin voted against increased funding for pretrial detention of violent criminals, making it easier for criminals like Darrell Brooks to terrorize our communities. Tell Senator Baldwin, violent criminals belong behind bars.
Hello. It was 1990 when I first looked out of the TV and told you about high quality at lower prices. Hi, I'm Miles Wilkins, owner of the Board Store. Some things have changed. Products have gotten so much better. We've gone from 3 to almost 80 employees, and I'm just a little bit older. Some things haven't changed. We still offer high quality at lower prices. Call today for a prompt free estimate on your next home improvement from the Board Store.
What do we think? Burglary gone wrong? More like a chilling spree.
I see it all too often. When you don't take care and maintain your system, it's all too easy for problems to pop up when you need it the most.
It's hard to stay cool under pressure. Proper service and maintenance is worth its weight in the cold. I'm not a fan of having problems. What can you do?
Call G&T as soon as humanly possible.
Don't lose your cool this summer. Call G&T Heating and Air Conditioning today.
It's the Labor Day sale at Drury's in Fountain, a huge store-wide event with savings on southern Minnesota's finest furniture. You'll find a stunning selection with savings you've come to expect at Drury's. Savings on top brands like Smith Brothers, Flexsteel, Eckernes, and Homecrest. Plus, special financing is available if your purchase is paid in full within 24 months. We'll even pay for your gas just for shopping at Drury's. Store-wide savings, 24-month financing, and free gas. Now during the Labor Day sale at Drury's in Fountain.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Everyday prices are too high. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes. That is called Bidenomics. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's not much left at the end of the month. Bidenomics is working. The price of housing has gone up. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
Our phones were made to help us connect, and somehow they've made us less connected. Which is ironic.
Don't you think?
Oh, I love this song so much.
Let's find us again with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us.
All right, good morning to you as we take a look here. GET bus stop forecast for you for those folks heading to school today. You're looking at, again, 67 degrees, mostly cloudy skies out there. And, of course, it is calm. Slowly but surely, you have a little patchy fog as well to contend with. We'll get that out of the way for you as the morning progresses. But you're heading home today, 79 degrees expected under mild conditions, fairly similar to what we had for West Salem. All right, that being said, take a look at the fog, low cloud activity. Ladysmith, about 7 miles visibility. We'll continue down to La Crosse, looking at mostly 10 miles visibility, so we knocked off a 2. It was at 12 earlier. Patchy fog is mostly down to the south, all the way over to the west, and of course we'll see that wane. As you can see, most of that fog you can see is west of the Mississippi there. We get that out of the way, slowly but surely you start to see it pick up by Winona and then get it a little closer to areas by La Crosse. So you'll see that in the river valleys possibly to finish out your morning around 10 o'clock. Not much in the way of any type of heat advisory or any type of excessive heat for us, but as you go out to areas by Cincinnati, going into Indiana and Ohio, you're also seeing some of that still holding on to some locations. That being said, the radar is quiet for us right now. You may find a spritzel well up to the north of I-90, well up there. In fact, you may see just maybe a sprinkle or two possibly get in the area. Otherwise, Wausau, it's a little out of the area right now, but you're going to see not much occurring currently. All right, that being said, let's take a quick peek as we go into how this all plays out. We go into Wednesday at 9 p.m. today, and we're going to find ourselves with some clearing skies to partly cloudy skies to finish out the day. All right, so going into current temperatures, you're looking at 60s to the 70s now, starting to pick up locally. 24-hour temperature change at least 2 to about 5 degrees cooler than we expect, and I'll have more about this coming up for you to see how much this heat is going to either stay with us or stay away from us going to the long weekend, so stick around.
In your consumer news this morning, AT&T said last night it's working on a software issue that's causing an outage for some wireless customers. Details about the software issue not immediately released, but a company spokesperson said the outage is affecting a limited number of customers and it's not nationwide. There was no jackpot winner for last night's Mega Millions drawing. That means the jackpot for Friday will grow to an estimated $627 million. Nobody's won the big prize since June 4th. In fact, only 2 people have won the Mega Millions this whole year. By this time last year, the jackpot had been hit 8 times, but the odds don't change. You still have less than a 1 in 300 million chance of winning. The number of so-called 401k millionaires hit a new record high in the second quarter, according to Fidelity Investments. The report looked at 24 million accounts across 26,000 employer-sponsored plans. As of June, nearly 500,000 401k accounts had balances of $1 million or more. The average 401k balance across all participants is about $127,000. That average is up 13% from last year. Food, rides, and games, all part of the fun at the State Fair. But there are also the vendors who are selling their products and competing for your cash. So what makes a good salesperson? Jeff Wagner went to the Minnesota State Fair to find out.
Stepping into the grandstand is like navigating a maze of merchandise.
I just use good food.
Forget food on a stick. How about the tools to cut one? Everything's for sale in there, even the kitchen sink.
Reach the bar, just right there.
I found mouse mix.
Did you expect that you would solve your mouse problem at the Minnesota State Fair?
No, I did not.
Now you can do like the windows, the screens.
Did you expect when you came to the fair you were going to buy hose nozzles?
No, I did not.
That spontaneous spending,
Can I just show you how it works?
is often kick-started
Right here too as well. This will actually replace 50 rolls of parchment.
by the sound of energetic salespeople drawing you in.
Sir, you ready? Can I clean them up? I'll do for free. What do you think are maybe some good traits of a good salesperson?
Well, being friendly and approachable.
Not grumpy, not pushy, not just pleasant.
Make them feel welcome, bring them in, excite them, make them smile. You know, like yesterday you came to me, I made you smile.
Malachi Williams cleaned my kicks.
This stuff is so good, you're gonna end up on the news.
Like he does for so many other fairgoers at Shoes MGK.
What makes a good salesperson at the State Fair?
People aren't necessarily shopping for what they want, they're shopping for what they need. You want to provide value to the people. So I want to make sure the customer is satisfied.
When I'm done, it just wipes clean.
Blair Lowndes sells Unstick to make cooking easy and clean.
I find out, what type of cook are you? Do you like to bake? Do you like to do stuff in the oven? Do you like to fry it? How important is the demo?
Very important.
I'm going to explain it to you, but if I show you, it's going to be a whole lot better.
letting customers see a product in action or test it themselves is often a turning point.
I have to see it work before I'll buy it.
Brittany got her shoes cleaned and bought the product, but not without a little negotiation.
The fact that you're willing to be flexible and work with me, I really appreciated that.
And so maybe somebody won't have like a budget for something. I'll be like, okay, well, what is your budget?
Creating a connection through conversation.
You need to bond with them quickly and to the point.
Keeps buyers calm and intrigued, while answering questions brings confidence.
Getting them excited as you are about it and showing them how this is going to make a difference in their life.
Look, that's the new and that's the old.
And you said you love buying things here at the fair?
I do, because I can't find it any other place.
Both salesmen said accepting that some customers aren't interested is just part of the job. The key is to stay upbeat and move on to the next person. That's it for your morning consumer news. Time now is 6:20. Let's check in with Art. Art, you suddenly craving a corn dog now too?
Oh, I know. That sounds so delicious with some mustard on that. Ooh-wee. All right, so we have this area of low pressure here, my friend, and that is going to continue to drive in some winds out of the northeast. That's going to keep us cooler as we go through today. We are much cooler than what we were just yesterday. In fact, it's going to be more comfortable as you go into the overnight hours to sleep as well. Hey, take a look at this. Current temperatures for you right now, 60s and some 70s, holding on slowly but surely. We get rid of the fog and low cloud activity out there as well. Rainfall, nothing much doing, but we may see a little sprinkle up to the north as you get north of I-90. You can see it right here from Marshfield all the way up to areas by Wausau. You may get a sprinkle or two out of that. Then we start to open up the skies down to the south. We're holding on to at least mostly clear skies to mostly sunny skies to start your day here, and then eventually you'll get into partly cloudy skies for everybody as we go deeper into the afternoon, and becoming at least mostly sunny to finish out going out of the afternoon and into the evening hours. So that's what's playing out for us. We take a look at the rainfall potential that may be sneaking in. Yeah, that starts to roll in just around, say, about the 10 o'clock hour. I would say maybe about 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, maybe about 9 o'clock, you'll see some of that rainfall move in. Then it gets out of the way slowly but surely. Prairie du Chien picks up the last really stretch of the storm activity out of that. And then by the time we get into about 5 o'clock, going to the 6 o'clock hour for the early morning just before sunrise, and most of that rainfall has gotten out of the way. All right, that's for Thursday. Being said, the rainfall potential, not much out of that. All that, it looks impressive, but it's been kind of weakening over the last few days. As far as La Crosse is concerned for today, though, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., you're looking at some cloudy skies, some fog, going to mostly cloudy skies, getting to mostly sunny to partly cloudy conditions to fill out your day. You can see that by the time we get to 6 o'clock, we're back into partly cloudy skies, finishing out with, again, pretty much the same. You're taking it up to the north, you'll do the same thing for Eau Claire. They're going to hold on to similar conditions with more fog and low cloud activity sticking around right into the morning hours. As far as the zones are concerned, you're looking at some 70s and 80s today, and we're talking about the low 80s, around 82 degrees or less. In fact, you'll pick up maybe again in some areas, come down to getting about 85 in some cases, but we're going to be really comfortable indeed. We're looking at about 82 degrees, so very pleasant indeed. You're all the way up to areas by, so you're looking at 74, holding on to the cloud cover for the day. You'll also see up there in Ladysmith, you're holding on the cloud cover as well, so mostly cloudy skies for you all the way down to Eau Claire. Picking up the temperatures today, 82 degrees expected, 85 for tomorrow. Storms coming in, about a 40% chance for the afternoon, turning to an 80% once we get into the late evening and overnight hours, and that will be mostly more of that rainfall coming in into the evening and overnight, so it really won't affect us too much during your day. 80s to go right into those low to middle 80s to finish out the remainder of your work week, and into your weekend is looking fantastic with middle 70s on the way for Sunday and Monday. All right, back to you.
Looking good. All right, Art. Thank you. The time now is 6:22. Still ahead on your morning news, how breast pumps are revolutionizing breastfeeding for working moms. New research reveals some surprising benefits for both mother and baby.
Coming up in the Blitz, highlights from the volleyball court and the pitch. Coming right up.
At By God from Rhody, we know reputation is important, and it can affect your case's outcome. If you want your case to be taken seriously, you need lawyers who are taken seriously. By God from Rhody, serious injuries need serious lawyers.
Life has become too expensive. Groceries and gas have gotten out of control, and red tape is killing the economy. But fortunately, our Congressman Derek Van Orden is fighting for solutions to make living more affordable for us in Wisconsin. He's advocating for common sense bills that would make everyday items like gas and groceries more affordable.
Now, Congress has an opportunity to lower costs by cutting red tape. Tell Congressman Van Orden to keep working to lower costs and support the Red Tape Reduction Act.
Whatever you were thinking, think bigger. It's the King Furniture Labor Day sale. Bigger selection and bigger discounts. Get up to 60% off the biggest names in furniture and 0% financing. Whoa, now that's big. Shop our huge inventory of in-stock furniture and have it in your home quick with free delivery. You won't want to miss this. It's the Labor Day sale going on now at King Furniture.
At Taco John's, we've got beef with other places that start with frozen beef. That's why we start with only 100% American never frozen beef, simmered in our signature spice blend. Say no to thaw and yes to 100% American beef at Taco John's.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I was 27 years old, and the doctor told me I have MS. You quickly realize what's the most important things in life: family, friendships, love, helping other people. It makes you much more empathetic and compassionate to those that are struggling and suffering. I wanted to achieve my goals and dreams, but I wanted to take my resources and save as many children as I possibly could.
Is your personal injury lawyer trying to sell you a settlement that you don't think is fair? You need a lawyer who won't settle your case just to move on to the next one. Get the full compensation you deserve. Get Bygoff and Rohde.
Welcome to the Blitz. MVC Volleyball has returned, and we've got some big-time action to open up the season. The Aquinas Blue Golds hosted the Holmen Vikings for the first game of the year. Now, Holmen entered the season as defending conference champs and were on a 22-match win streak against their MVC opponents. Their last loss, August 30th of 2022 against the Aquinas Blue Golds. Both teams hoping to have a big season, but only one can start out with the win. First set, Vikings starting strong. Macy Klein is going to pass to McKenna McHugh, and she sets it over to Charlie Casey, who brings it down for the big-time kill. Point Holmen. But the Blue Golds come back strong. Tessa Miskowski bumps it to Josephine Lawton, sends it to Samantha Davis, and she comes up with the kill. Blue Golds in front. Then still in the first, Aquinas going back to it. Miskowski to Lawton to Davis one more time. Blue Golds with the point, and they would take set number one. Second set, Holmen would start to heat up. Klein with the serve. Blue Gold setting it up, but Moira Linz is going to send it back and get a block of the net. Holmen wins set number two. So we go to set number three. Holmen on set point, and check out the hustle on display here. Bodies all over the floor, and the Vikings and Blue Gold's players are diving for it all, but miscommunication is going to lead to a point for the away team. Vikings take the set, and they would go on to win 3-2, which brings their MVC win streak to 23 straight games. Some soccer action last night. Eau Claire North visiting Logan. 3 minutes into this game, Dylan Morosky bobbing and weaving by defenders, and he skips one past the keeper to put the away side up 1-0. And it was a big day for the senior forward. About 8 minutes later, Morosky mishits one. Ball comes back to him, and he will not miss twice. The left-footed shot is true to double the Husky lead. Then visitors threatening again, and the right-footed shot is going to come in, but Parker Stevermer dives to his left for the stop, and agreed. That one's 2 thumbs up there. Then a free kick for the Eau Claire North side, right outside the box later in the first half, and it's Morosky with a go, and he is sending it right into your living room. Huskies go on to take this one 7-0 over the Rangers. Brewers begin a series with the Giants at home. Crew down 1-0 until Jackson Churio centers on a changeup, and that baby is long gone. 439 feet for the rookie. He broke a panel in the scoreboard out there in center as well. Then more magic out there in center field. Tyro Estrada thinks he might have himself a home run, but Blake Perkins scaling the wall and brings it back. Unreal catch out there to keep the game tied at 2. San Francisco would take the lead, but Willie Adames says not for long. He cranks one to deep left field, and goodbye baseball. The Giants would answer with 2 more in the 7th, and they take the opener 5-4. Brewers will look to bounce back tonight. First pitch at 7:10. Hope to see you tonight.
Refresh your space with a mid-century makeover at Ashley. During the Labor Day sale, discover statement pieces starting at $499.99. Plus, get 0% interest for 5 years on in-store purchases. No minimum purchase required. Shop more deals in-store and online.
We know the fentanyl coming from Mexico and China is a threat here in Wisconsin.
It's why Tammy Baldwin is working to stop it.
And Tammy passed the bipartisan Fend Off Fentanyl Act.
That takes on the Mexican cartels and the fentanyl coming from China.
And Tammy Baldwin voted 32 times to strengthen our border.
32 times to increase border patrols.
And technology to keep illegal drugs out. Because Senator Baldwin knows
keeping us safe is her first priority.
Tell Tammy Baldwin to keep securing our borders.
Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world.
Hey, you're sober? You drive.
Kyle just made a decision that would change his whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over.
To everyone out there who loves Culver's,
the feeling is mutual. Everything's made fresh.
Everything. Everything.
It's our pleasure.
This is me and my happy place.
I wouldn't trade our Culver's for any other restaurant.
Culver's. We love our guests.
Love. As much as our guests love us.
This is me and my happy place.
from Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Improving your home, improving your life with new entry doors. Few things in your home get the constant use of the entry door. Older entry doors are often hard to open, hard to close, drafty, cold, ugly, insecure, or all of these things, a source of daily misery. Correctly installed entry doors provide a safety and security for your family. They are easy to operate, provide comfort, and say welcome to family and friends. Call or visit the Board Store for a prompt free estimate. Get more for less today and every day. The Board Store.
My day is packed. Client meetings,
Patient rounds,
getting kids out the door.
But Eric Hovde thinks all women care about is Hollywood.
It's just deplorable. Sadly, with, females, they spend too much time focused on what's going on in Hollywood.
Well, guess what, Eric Hovde?
We know you supported overturning Roe versus Wade.
And we know you'd vote for a national abortion ban, too.
Eric Hovde must think he knows better than us.
What is wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Labor Day mattress deals are happening now at Ashley. For a limited time, save up to $1,000 on select mattress purchases. Plus, get 0% interest for 5 years on in-store purchases. Only at Ashley.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Welcome back. It's that time of year again. Students across our area are heading back to the classroom. For one district, a familiar policy is undergoing some changes. News 8 Now's Michael Germain joins us live at Galesville Ettrick Trumpelow High School to help welcome students back and tell us about some changes. Good morning, Michael.
Alexandra, just 2 years ago, students at GET High School were allowed to use their phones throughout the school year. But this year, things look a little bit different, and officials say the new policy will help with further education. 2 years ago, students at GET High School were allowed to use their phones throughout the school day, a freedom that administrators say became too much of a distraction for everyone. So for the 2023 to 2024 school year, they tightened the reins a bit.
Last summer, we tried to tighten things up a little bit with the cell phones and try not to have them, out during class time.
While it was an improvement over the previous years, it wasn't enough. So this year, they're taking things one step further, eliminating cell phone use altogether and adding phone caddies in the classroom. Jamie Oliver, the principal at GET High School, says students know how distracting cell phones can be. The new policy is designed to not only help them concentrate on academics, but on each other.
It was great to see students actually talking to one another at the end of class rather than just pulling out their phone and looking at their phone.
Each classroom will be equipped with a cell phone caddy, where students will have an assigned slot.
As they leave the class to go on to their next, into their next classroom, then they'll grab their phone and take it with them.
Oliver says the new policy is less about taking something away from the students as it is about adding something back to the school day that's long been missing.
We want them to talk more. We want them to, engage one another on a regular basis and not be staring at that device.
Which administrators hope will lead to a decrease in cyberbullying and help protect students' mental health.
Things aren't always positive, with those social media. So, if we can not have them worry about that for the class time and again, still be 100% engaged in that class, I think that'll help a lot. We're taking the distraction from those students, but we're eliminating distractions for the teachers.
The policy goes into effect this year, and if it's successful, it will provide for future generations to come. Reporting live in Galesville, Michael Germain, News 8 Now.
All right, Michael, thank you for that update. And it's back to the classroom in West Salem, too. Students there celebrating their first week back. While the summer break to school year adjustment can be hard for kids, there were plenty of sentimental parents yesterday, too.
It all goes by so fast. I'm just proud of her and excited for her to get back with her friends and get back in the flow of school.
There's plenty for West Salem elementary families to look forward to. The principal says some playground equipment is getting replaced with newer materials. In your morning medical news, the Biden administration is working to expand maternal and early childhood care. It's pumping $440 million into the maternal, infant, and early childhood home visiting program. That program brings nurses, healthcare workers, and social workers to homes of new moms to help with breastfeeding and postpartum care. 167,000 people currently participate, and the added funding will expand services to another 30,000. During this National Breastfeeding Month, new research shows that using a pump may help women breastfeed their babies longer. Danya Backus has more.
Nikki D'Antonio is grateful for this time at home with her 7-month-old daughter, Lillian. And now that it's time to go back to her job as a math teacher, she's working on getting Lillian to take bottles with pumped breast milk so she can continue to breastfeed.
My goal is to do at least a year, and if for her she needs it longer, that's fine. So I'm hoping the pumping will help get what I need.
New research shows it could help her achieve her goal. A Yale School of Medicine study finds women using breast pumps are more likely to continue breastfeeding for about 21 weeks longer than women who don't use pumps.
We didn't know if pumps were beneficial or harmful to breastfeeding duration, and they appear to relate to a longer breastfeeding duration. It's wonderful that with this tool that can be helpful to breastfeeding moms.
The study looked at more than 19,000 mothers. 91% said they used a breast pump. Study author Dr. Sarah Taylor says the findings are good news since breastfeeding benefits mother and baby.
So for babies, we see less ear infections, long-term decreased risk of diabetes, of cancer. For moms, we see decreased risk of cardiovascular disease and certain types of cancers.
D'Antonio says it hasn't been easy, but she's doing what she can.
I've had my moments where I might wanted to quit because I was getting overwhelmed, but I've tried to stick to it for her sake. The first month I think is going to be probably the hardest, being away from her, especially pumping at work. So I'm hoping to make it that month and that everything goes smoothly.
She says it was a bit of a challenge getting Lillian to take bottles, but they're seeing some success now.
Researchers say pumps could also make a difference in breastfeeding inequities, as they found Black and Native American women had a higher likelihood of breastfeeding when they were pumping. Governor Tony Evers is urging state officials to swiftly implement new federal standards for PFAS in our drinking water. The EPA recently approved stricter limits of 4 parts per trillion for these forever chemicals linked to serious health issues. This is significantly lower than Wisconsin's current limit, 70 parts per trillion. Under the new federal law, water systems must test for PFAS by 2027 and implement safeguards by 2029 if levels exceed that limit. A Dane County judge has upheld Governor Tony Evers' partial veto on a school literacy bill. Governor Evers consolidated funding allocation and cut grants for private and charter schools. Republicans challenged that, arguing the bill wasn't an appropriations measure, but the judge disagreed. The Joint Finance Committee still controls the $50 million fund release. Plans to launch the SpaceX Polaris Dawn mission have been put on hold for the second time, this time due to weather. While conditions for this morning's launch looked favorable, the SpaceX team says it has concerns about the weather at the end of the mission when the Dragon capsule splashes down in the seas around Florida. The 4-person crew, which is hoping to conduct the first ever spacewalk by private astronaut, has been in quarantine awaiting their launch. It's unclear when the next attempt will be. The time now is 6:38. Here is News 8 meteorologist Art Jarrett to tell us what to expect on our morning commute.
Hey, Alexandra, remember when the lows in the morning were just around, say, 10 degrees to 13 degrees warmer than what you're seeing now? 67 degrees for GET. You head on out to the bus stop. Looking pretty nice for you. Calm conditions. Once you get into the afternoon, though, my friends, you're looking at least temperatures still holding on to 79 degrees. And, of course, mild conditions will ensue with partly to mostly cloudy skies for the day today. In fact, I-90, you're going to be in mostly cloudy up to cloudy skies today north of that. How about the fog? Low cloud activity right now, as I mentioned, most of it is down to the south of us here and mostly to the west. And you see some patchy to near dense fog for now. This will get out of the way as we slowly but surely go through the mid-morning hours. We'll see some of that fog and low cloud activity work back to Winona, possibly stretching into the river valleys here locally. And then eventually it'll wane and get out of the way by the 10 o'clock hour. Look at La Crosse right now under mostly cloudy skies. Eau Claire still holding on some cloud cover as well. They are mostly cloudy to cloudy skies currently all the way up through the atmosphere. Not much in the way of any type of heat indices or any type of heat warnings going on for us. We are slowly but surely looking to a nice and pleasant day today. A little bit of rainfall kind of sneaks in, as you can see here. Eventually we'll get that out of the way as we go through the mid-morning hours. In fact, we'll go into maybe a sprinkle all the way into maybe just a slight shower well to our east. I'll have more about this coming up for you just in a bit. Stick around. All right, coming up on our Buzz Report, we have the British rock band Oasis is going back on tour. More on the dates and locations of the announced 2025 reunion tour when we return. So stay with us. We'll be right back.
This Thursday, one day only, earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50. That's a 30-cent fuel saver for every $50 you spend in-store and online. Thursday only and only at Hy-Vee.
During the Labor Day sale going on now at PM Sleep Center, you can save up to $800 on select Stearns & Foster adjustable mattress sets. Your next mattress is at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Listen, Eric Hovde, Mr. Fancy California banker, I earned my retirement, but you said you would absolutely cut Social Security and even raise the retirement age. Now you want to take away our right to vote? Eric Hovde, you're one heck of a jerk. Will never have my vote. DSCC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Turn your collector car into cash. Remlinger Collector Car Auctions is now taking consignments for its fall auction on September 27th and 28th in Winona, Minnesota. Visit RemlingerAuctions.com to consign now and maximize your earnings. Early consigners receive the most exposure to our eager pre-qualified bidders. Reserve your spot today and join the excitement. Remlinger Collector Car Auctions, where every car has a story and every bid is an adventure.
Get an 11% rebate on everything for your next project at Menards. Rust-Oleum Stops Rust is a 5-in-1 spray paint. Choose from 5 different spray settings for a professional finish on every project. Only $5.95 each after rebate. Transform your garage with a rock-solid floor coating system. Complete your project in 1 weekend. A 1-car garage kit covers up to 250 square feet. Right now, just $144.97 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Everyday prices are too high. Food, rent, gas, back-to-school clothes. That is called Bidenomics. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today. Ground beef is up almost 50%. There's not much left at the end of the month. Bidenomics is working. The price of housing has gone up. It feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. And we are very proud of Bidenomics.
During the Labor Day sale going on now at PM Sleep Center, you can save up to $800 on select Stearns & Foster adjustable mattress sets. Your next mattress is at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
This Thursday, one day only, earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $50. That's a 30-cent fuel saver for every $50 you spend in-store and online. Thursday only and only at Hy-Vee.
Well, good morning to you. We've got that area of low pressure that's still holding on to us, and as it continues to track a little bit to the east, it's going to allow some of that northeasterly wind to slip out of Canada and start pushing that cooler air into our region, and that's going to keep us much cooler than we were just 24 hours ago. Take a look at this, though. Current temperatures right now, 61 degrees, all the way to 70 degrees still. In fact, you get down to Prairie du Chien, they're picking up at least 67 and 69 in Boscobel. Fog and low cloud activity is over there for you, so you've got a nice little morning blanket. The radar, not so much happening for us here locally, but you go up to our northeast, you're picking up something around, say, above I-90. You're picking up maybe a sprinkle, maybe a light shower well out of the way by Wausau. Wausau's been picking up a little bit of rainfall over the last few days, but we get into it here. You're looking at going into the 12 or noon hour. We're looking at least partly cloudy skies for us. Farther to the south, you're looking at mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies. Then the skies open up going into the latter portion of your afternoon. We're looking at mostly sunny to about partly cloudy as you get north or south of Eau Claire. Then you're getting into mostly cloudy conditions, possibly into Eau Claire and into Ladysmith. By the time you get in the overnight, we get some cloud cover kind of slowly but surely trying to return back. Rainfall begins to sneak in once we get into the 7 o'clock hour across areas right by the Mississippi. And then eventually it skirts across the Mississippi and it gets a little bit closer to us, but it begins to fall apart. We have a 40% chance of rainfall in the afternoon for tomorrow, but boom, more comes back as we go about, say, the 9 o'clock hour at night going into Thursday to the midnight hour. Most of it starts to sweep past us by the time we get into the midnight hour or near it at least. We still have Prairie du Chien picking up some storm activity. They still hold on to that all the way into 1:30 going into 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Then it gets out of the way once we get into Friday just before sunrise. And we take a big breather. We get into drier conditions, opening up with drier skies, winds coming out of the west, northwest, and that's going to help us out coming out from that ridge of high pressure. And slowly but surely, we get into better looking skies. Let's add in some rainfall totals, what we're expecting out of this, and it's meager. It's been weakening ever since the last few days here, since say Saturday actually, and now we're looking at conditions to be like this for today. You're going to go into some cloudy skies for La Crosse. You're picking up again, getting into partly cloudy skies to mostly cloudy skies, partly cloudy by the noon hour. That continues all the way to the middle portion of your afternoon and the latter portion, sunshine by 6 o'clock. Then we get back into partly cloudy skies for you. How about this, though, Eau Claire? It's like clouds, 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 clouds. Still hold on to cloudy skies all the way into the noon hour and beyond into the middle portion of your afternoon. So mostly cloudy skies to, again, partly cloudy skies possibly to finish out your day. The zones are going to take you into this as we go into it. We'll take a gander here. There we go. We're looking at some 70s, some low 80s today. What we're expecting out of this all the way down to the south zone. Still some middle 80s out of that and then some upper 70s. You go back into the central zone, you're looking at least some middle to upper 70s, and we finish out with this going right into how this all plays out with more 70s for the day, and so comfortable indeed. Right into your Labor Day weekend, looking pretty nice with 80s and some middle 70s. Yay us. Back to you.
In our Morning Buzz report, the British rock band Oasis is going back on tour. A lot of people excited about this one. The group announced a 2025 reunion tour on its website starting July 4th. Oasis will play 14 dates across the UK. The group broke up back in 2009 after it was reported brothers Noel and Liam Gallagher weren't getting along. The brothers posted on social media about the comeback, saying, quote, "This is it. This is happening." Jason and Travis Kelce, you're not sick of hearing about them, are you? They're teaming up with Amazon's Wondery to distribute their New Heights podcast. The deal is reported to be worth a whopping $100 million. The Kansas City Chiefs tight end and the former Philadelphia Eagles said they're thrilled about the next phase of New Heights. It debuted in September of 2022.
He is much more impressive than the hedgehog I fought previously.
Dude, I'm standing right here.
You're a colorful bunch.
We don't want to fight you.
Actually, Sonic, I would like to fight.
No, no!
Paramount releasing the first trailer for the third Sonic the Hedgehog movie. Keanu Reeves voices the new bad guy named Shadow the Hedgehog. Ben Schwartz returns as Sonic, and Jim Carrey is back as Dr. Robotnik. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 hits theaters December 20th.
I am the life that overcomes death.
Guess you're not holding back anymore.
I can't. I'm out of time.
Jesus is heading for Jerusalem in season 4 of The Chosen. From unlikely beginnings, the series has become one of the most successful crowd-funded entertainment projects ever. Season 5 is now in production. And before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, Bexley is turning 8 years old today. She loves to play with her friends and mom and dad around the home.
All right, happy birthday to her. She's so cute too, love her dress. If you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, that's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look for the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
The time now is 6:48. Stay with us. We have everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Your morning news now is coming up next.
Coming up on CBS Mornings, podcasting. It's becoming more and more lucrative, particularly if your name is Kelsey. The Kelsey brothers, Travis and Jason, just signed a reported $100 million deal for their New Heights podcast. Jolene Kent tells us why sitting around very close to a microphone and talking into it has become such a very big business. Plus, in our Serious the Dish, I'll show you how one talented chef partnered with a bunch of high school buddies to reimagine what a New York diner looks like and tastes like. Wait till you see how much instant success they've had. And we've got another talented Tony in the house, another non-Anthony. Actor Tony Danza joins us to talk about his new show honoring the legendary Frank Sinatra. Danza does it all. He sings, he tells stories, he tap dances, and he plays the ukulele. Everyone does. We'll see you at 7.
The Labor Day sale is going on now at International Furniture. 40% off the retail price on all upholstery in stock and special orders. All in-stock pictures, rugs, lamps, and accessories, 50% off the retail price. International Furniture, I-90 Airport Exit 2, La Crosse.
Life has become too expensive. Groceries and gas have gotten out of control, and red tape is killing the economy. But fortunately, our Congressman, Derek Van Orden, is fighting for solutions to make living more affordable for us in Wisconsin. He's advocating for common sense bills that would make everyday items like gas and groceries more affordable.
Now, Congress has an opportunity to lower costs by cutting red tape. Tell Congressman Van Orden to keep working to lower costs and support the Red Tape Reduction Act.
Life's better when you're under our roof.
Your policy's updated.
Because we know your house is where their dreams begin.
Impressive.
Thanks, Caleb. And our agents are here to help you feel protected, so your family can pursue their dreams. Hey. Bundle life and save up to 25% on home and auto. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly.
Darling, I believe everything's gonna be alright. No need to worry because you got somebody on your side. We all need a fam, we all need a crew. When you're in a jam, don't know what to do. Just reach out your hand and we'll see you through. Doesn't matter where you're at, we got your back. We got your back.
With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for.
We got your back.
Drive into summer with the rugged Honda Ridgeline, Passport, and Pilot. Summer is for exploring, so get outdoors, kick up some dust, get muddy, or just find that perfect campsite. All from Honda, the 2024 Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com Best Value brand. So act now to get an offer you'll love. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
There's a side of Eric Hovde you might not know. In his 20s, he was diagnosed with MS, and in that moment, his life and priorities changed. Eric started Hovde Homes. Hovde Homes rescue abandoned children from sex trafficking and slavery. For children who never experienced real love, Hovde Homes offer the love, care, and support they need to heal. MS changed Eric's life, and thousands of children are alive today because of it.
The Labor Day sale is going on now at International Furniture. 40% off the retail price on all upholstery in stock and special orders. All in-stock pictures, rugs, lamps, and accessories, 50% off the retail price. International Furniture, I-90 Airport Exit 2, La Crosse.
Welcome back. It's 6:52. Time for your morning news now. A competency exam is scheduled for the La Crosse man accused of killing his roommate. 55-year-old John Stumlin facing first-degree homicide and hiding a corpse charges after authorities found his 68-year-old roommate's body behind their trailer home. A judge ordered the exam to determine if Stumlin is fit to stand trial. The man charged in a Juneau County homicide has pleaded not guilty. 47-year-old Donald Dahlberg facing multiple felony charges, including first-degree intentional homicide for allegedly killing 57-year-old Floyd Burdick in January. Held on $1 million bond, Dahlberg has a conference today to schedule his jury trial. A Toma stabbing case is moving forward after a competency ruling. 49-year-old Jorge Santos Martinez has been found fit to stand trial for attempted first-degree homicide and aggravated battery. He's accused of stabbing a group home employee 3 times in May. The court entered not guilty pleas on his behalf, with his next appearance set for December 3rd. Special counsel Jack Smith has filed a new federal indictment in the election interference case against former President Trump. The indictment carries the same 4 charges for Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election, but is tailored to, quote, respect and implement the Supreme Court's new immunity standard. A Dane County judge has upheld Governor Tony Evers' partial veto on a school literacy bill. Evers consolidated funding allocations and cut grants for private and charter schools. Republicans challenged that, arguing the bill wasn't an appropriations measure, but the judge ultimately disagreed. The Joint Finance Committee still controls the $50 million fund release. As La Crosse's camping ban goes into effect, a nearby city is also considering one. La Crescent's police department has proposed an ordinance to control camping on public property. The mayor says it aims to prevent unsheltered people from camping on city-owned land while offering them alternative resources.
We have some conflicts where private property and public property meet, and so it may affect homeowners' properties.
The proposal was sent to La Crescent City's attorney for review and drafting of the ordinance. And the clock is ticking for La Crosse's unsheltered population. Just 5 minutes now, and the city will temporarily close Veterans Trail, enforcing its new camping ban. Those living along the trail have to vacate with their belongings by 7 o'clock this morning as crews prepare to clear the area. This action stems from the City Council's recent vote to end camping on all city-owned property. Also beginning today, expect some delays on your morning commute if you travel near UWL or Western Technical College. Starting today, just over 3,000 students at both of those schools will move back into their dorm rooms, so expect some traffic and road closures. According to a release, UWL expects Badger, La Crosse, Oakland, Pine, Vine, Campbell Road, and West Avenue to be some of the most impacted roads.
Oh, come on, Mom, wake up, wake up. You're gonna miss your bus. Young Art Jarrett, right? Hey, we're looking at 67 degrees for folks heading out to the school bus this morning. Mostly cloudy skies. By the afternoon, though, later on, you're looking at 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Maybe some mostly sunny skies for some folks. We'll get into today's headlines. You're looking at the morning fog. We'll get that out of the way for you by mid-morning. And then today, much cooler. Conditions are gonna be so nice out there. Look at them. You're looking at the 70s and the low 80s out there for you. Very comfortable indeed and pleasant. Then we take it into your 8-day forecast where we're looking at temperatures in the low to middle 80s. Get out and enjoy it as we go into your holiday weekend. We'll even see some 70s in there as well.
Not you missing the bus on the first day of school, Art.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, today's National Red Wine Day. There are several varieties to enjoy, whether it's Merlot, Pinot Noir, Shiraz, or Cabernet Sauvignon. Red wines also pair well with many foods, including red meat, some fish and pasta, and chocolate. Share your favorite reds on social media by using the hashtag National Red Wine Day. If you drink, remember to do so responsibly. You know, I don't like this being on a weekday. You knew I was going to say that, though, right? We need these holidays on Fridays and Saturdays.
You like the Bordeaux, do you?
Yeah, I'll go for a Bordeaux. Not on a Wednesday, though.
All right.
Thank you for starting your morning with us on News 8 Now this morning. We will see you back here at noon.